In this episode,
when you're saying, I wish he was dead, no. Just let him be the unhappy person that he is. He lives rent-free in your head.
My first husband got violent in the kitchen.
In the
with
kitchen,
knives. Yes.
with knives, right? He tried to knife you in the kitchen. Someone else is coming. Getting back together will create a life that is detrimental to both families. So, because they will split up again. Ever since I was little, I had a strange and uncanny ability to know things about people. But when I was 19, I was the victim of violence, and I had a really strange out-of-body experience. The worst day of my life became the best day because it left me with an ability to help others in a really deep and meaningful way. I'm able to connect and communicate and share messages from our loved ones who've passed on and are part of spirit now. And it's all about hope, healing, forgiveness, and most of all, love. I'm Colette Baron-Reid, and I'm here to share messages from spirit. I have someone who had standard poodles. Standard poodles, big, giant poodles. Your godmother? I'm picking up quite an eccentric woman. She's also with your mother.
Yes.
Yes, she's with your mother in
They were best friends.
That's it. She's with your mother in spirit. You really knew love because of them. And so the men, though, on the other side, were the difficult ones. But you at least know what it's like to be really cared for by women. They want to acknowledge for you to remember that when a man or when men cannot offer you that, and your memory of men, it wasn't your fault. Does that resonate with you, right? I have a husband here also who's passed.
I wish he was.
Oh, really? Is he gone from you? No.
21 years.
Yeah, so 1 second though. Maybe I think it's your mother's husband. He's not acknowledging a father though, being a father.
That's right, he never was.
Right. I sometimes interpret too quickly, but that's his way of acknowledging you, is by saying, I wasn't your father. He's saying, I wasn't a father, hence you married that man. Your godmother and your mother are saying, remember us. You look with bitterness on the other side. You have to be released from the bitterness. It's still alive in you. And it's one of the reasons why you have health issues right now. They want you to forgive him. When you're saying, I wish he was dead, no. Just let him be the unhappy person that he is. You don't need to, you foster this. He lives rent-free in your head, according to them. Like, you just let him sit in there and stew. And remember, you drink poison waiting for somebody else to die. You're the one drinking the poison. They're not going to feel this resentment and anger. And your mom and your godmother and your dad say enough. You have only so many more years left on this planet. They don't want you to be ill, and they don't want you to live with a memory that is your predominant state of being, which is resentment and being a victim of someone's lack of integrity.
Yes.
It's time now. You got to let go. You are getting an operation, or did you just have one, or they talked to you about?
I'm going to the doctor next week.
Next week, okay. They're showing me a hospital for you. They're showing me you're going to the hospital, or you might have to go to the hospital. And they're saying that the way for you to get healthy is first in the mind. And it is really related to the fact that you were abandoned by a man who was in front of you all the time. And then you married a man who abandoned you, who was in front of you all the time. So you have to get rid of the poison. Spit it out. Spit it out. I'm also getting kidneys and, which is where the seat of anger is, by the way. Repressed anger sits in the kidneys, okay. Right? You understand this. This is so important for you to listen to this. They love you so much over there. Your dad is so sorry for what he did. He's sorry for what he did for your mom. You want to live.
He was never there.
But now he is, right here with you right now. That old story, he was never there, he acknowledges that. He abandoned you right in front of you. That's why your mom and your godmother came in, to identify themselves right off the bat by those, she says, my dumb poodles, even though they're very smart. But she's like, I saw them marching by. That was the only way you'd know it was you. You got to remember how women loved you. That's how you have to love you.
A lot of strong women.
Yeah, be that person now. You've let that deflate you, and now you're sick. Okay?
Thank you.
My
Thank
pleasure.
I had a traumatic acquired brain injury years ago, and it's really affected me. And so now I live up in northern Ontario, in the Halliburton area. And I was married for 21 years, and my husband decided to up and leave me for another man. And Colette was saying to me that I gotta let my anger go on that, because she originally had said she thought that my husband might be dead, and I said I certainly really wish he was. And then we laughed, but yeah, it's true. He caused me an awful lot of grief. He left me homeless. So, but I'm doing much better now.
Coming up, Timmy's father comes through with an apology.
You were the one most affected by what you witnessed, because he was in his worst part of alcoholism at that point.
In this reading, Timmy connects to her father.
Are you a couple?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Is this a second marriage?
Yes.
Also good. I think I'm getting your dad. Your dad has passed?
Yeah.
His father was alcoholic, or was he alcoholic?
My father was an alcoholic.
Your father, and he's also passed?
Yes.
I'm definitely picking up the alcoholism. So did your father not meet him,
He did.
but really briefly?
No.
No, okay.
My dad stayed with us for a while, and
No. You didn't really know him.
No, I didn't know him as an alcoholic. I knew him after he
Right,
recovered.
that's it. You
That's
didn't
what they're
know
getting at.
him
I
when
see.
he was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
You
Right.
knew him when he was sober. So he is saying that he was grateful that you didn't know him then. This is your dad I'm connecting to.
Yes.
Yes. He was extremely grateful man, very, very grateful, very humble man.
yes.
He died just after he left your home. He's like,
It wasn't long after
wasn't
he was
long after. It
diagnosed.
just feels like
yeah.
as you were there, then he was there. What does the streetcars have to do with him?
He had a second wife that she walked in front,
front
of
of
one
a
in
streetcar.
Toronto here.
Thank you. Okay. Yes. He's still haven't gotten over that one. So she actually died.
Yeah, she
Yes.
committed suicide.
Yes. Okay. So he tried to get back together with the one who went in front of the streetcar twice.
Oh,
So,
probably.
Yes. This was a very tumultuous relationship.
That would be in his drinking days.
Yes,
Yes.
I get it. Yes. Back and forth, back and forth. What's he showing me? Cappuccino, coffee.
Black coffee. My mother liked the
lot.
cappuccinos.
Okay, and she's passed?
Yes.
Okay, I get it. He's making cappuccino for somebody. I see this now. So this is your mom, who was his first wife.
Yes.
Yes. He's actually saying to you that your mother knows him sober now.
Oh, thank God.
Your mother knows. He loved your mother so much, and he was very sick. He continued to be sick, so she wouldn't take him back.
Right.
Rightly so, because he was very abusive. So
Yes.
he's saying that you witnessed, he's apologizing for what you witnessed. He never actually talked to you about this in life, never really addressed it. He wanted to, but he didn't have the courage. What he is saying is that he wants to acknowledge this publicly for you, because your last husband was a little bit like him, not as
Same.
well,
Not
he's not. It was
extreme,
not as. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. He was,
Abusive.
he was verbally abusive, et cetera, and you believed that love meant that, and he loves him for you because he is a person that is teaching you that love is not about abuse, and he he tried to tell you that, but he was too proud. So he wants to say that to you because you have helped her trust. You've basically given her the ability to trust again. And he kept wanting to call you his little girl. So did you have an older sister, an older sibling?
I'm the youngest of 6.
Yes, my little girl, right? My
Yeah.
little girl, right? But you were the one most affected by what you witnessed because he was in his worst part of alcoholism at that point. The older one, he wasn't as bad when the older, right? So you were so affected by what you saw in the kitchen. Does that mean anything to you? The kitchen.
You know, I'm not sure. I always take pride and tell everybody I'm lucky because I don't remember, but
Well,
subconsciously I know I do because in
showing me a
certain
knife.
environments,
Yeah. You get
Oh,
scared.
my
got-
first husband got
tried-
violent in the kitchen.
In the
with
kitchen,
knives.
uh-huh. With knives, right? He tried to knife you in the kitchen, right? So is your first husband passed? No, this is your
No.
father talking about the story. So
Yeah.
he's taking responsibility for the kitchen story, right? So if you hadn't been raised by me, that would never have happened.
Up next, Timmy's father offers parenting advice.
I'm
You're
terrified
So
because he's tried to commit suicide 3 times.
I have tried to commit suicide 3 times, and look how well I turned out.
In the second part of Timmy's reading, her father offers parenting advice.
Your kids, who are older,
My son is older than his girls.
okay, I'm getting all confused now, but the older one recognizes stability in her, was resentful of that at first,
Oh, yes.
right? But is understanding now that because they were afraid to betray their mother by loving
Yes.
you, right? So there's a big issue around betrayal and picking sides.
Yes.
So it feels like that's healed now, and your father wants to acknowledge that. Now your mom is so interesting because all she's doing is sitting there having cappuccino.
Yeah,
Right? So,
she's quiet.
yeah, very quiet. That's all. I'm
Yes.
not getting anything out of her at all, except I'm drinking coffee with your dad, and it's good. Right?
Oh, that's good. That's a blessing.
There's a big forgiveness there. So because she didn't see him sober in life, she never knew what it was like because she didn't trust him if he tried to make amends to her and she wouldn't accept it. So
Yeah.
do you know about
she
that?
She was still angry right to the day.
Right
I
till the day
think.
she died. Yeah, yeah. Well, they're all good now, and she wants you to release your fear that there's nothing this guy can do except turn himself into a pretzel, right? Because he'll notice you get scared, and he doesn't know what to do. So you have no instruction manual about fear whatsoever
Yeah,
to
I
give
get
to him.
anxious. I blamed on him.
It's
Say
not
I'm
his-
all anxious, and
Yeah, but it's
it's
not
got something
about
to do with
him.
you.
It's not about him. It's about her.
I see.
Okay? And your dad is saying that too. It's about your mom. Your mom raised you to be afraid.
Yes.
Right? So you turn it inward
Yep.
and you don't go out there. So you just get nervous when you can't feel your groundedness. So you're hypersensitive to the environment. You're a good healer too. So you probably feel like you want to help other people. You could have done that professionally. That your dad is saying you could have done a lot of things that you didn't do.
That's right.
All right, which is fine.
Yeah.
He's also saying because that's a list you do to yourself too, going, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I didn't do this. There, you have plenty of time to do all those things. Just know that you have a very grounded, good man, that you can do anything together, that this is making up for this issue in the kitchen with the knife and the whole 9 yards. This guy would never do that.
No.
And but my point is that you still react as if that story existed in you.
I do.
So that's something to consider working on with a coach or a therapist or whatever, because it prevents you from really being fully present in your authenticity.
Right.
And because you think somebody's going to retaliate if you tell the truth about what you feel. Okay? Okay.
Can I ask you something, Colette?
Yes.
Because I have a son that is very anxious and depressed, and
Right.
I'm terrified
So
because he's tried to commit suicide 3 times.
I have tried to commit suicide 3 times, and look how well I turned out.
Yes.
So I'm actually not getting that your son is in danger. So he's older now, correct? Is he?
He's 23.
He's 23,
I
and
think
this was
he's
when he
very
was 17?
sensitive.
Did you just when he was 17?
First 15, 16, 17.
And 17 was the last one. 17
Yeah.
it was over, right?
Yes.
I'll be honest with you, I'm hearing from them that he's over the worst of it, and you just have to hang in there. He is biochemically off balance, so probably needs meditation would be really good for him, like relaxation therapy, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not a doctor. I can't say he needs medication, but I'm getting...
He refuses pharmaceuticals. He
Yeah.
does do meditation, yoga.
Yeah, he's good.
Eats really well, but his mind gets in the way.
Well, our minds get in the
Yeah.
way, and you just tell him more meditation. More.
Okay.
If I didn't meditate for an hour every day, I would be signed into a hospital with all that goes through my head. And I did try to kill myself in my 20s. So,
Okay. All right.
but I'm really tuned in to your son. I'm not getting problems. I'm getting management.
Right.
Management,
Okay.
managing it. And he needs to move his energy in some way, maybe even teach yoga or meditation, like be really part of that, right?
Yes.
Is that what he wants to do?
Well, that's what I tell him he should do. He's studying health and fitness in college.
Well,
courses
teach yoga.
online, and yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
I'm pretty excited, relieved. Colette answered some questions that I think in my head, don't share with other people. And she helped me to realize where my fears were coming from. You know, when you hit a certain age in life, after your kids are a certain age, you start wondering a lot of things. And she put a lot of those little demons to rest for me. I thought she was wonderful. I love her.
Still ahead, Leanne's grandfather offers relationship advice.
He gives so much in the relationship, and she really hurt him. So that, you know, this just wasn't meant to be, and he's going to want to get back together with her. That's what they're worried about.
In the final reading, Leanne connects to her grandfather.
This is a person who had a lot of nosebleeds. This is somebody in this audience here. So,
Sounds like my son.
yes?
He's Mac with tattoos all over.
Oh, his name is Mac, and he's got tattoos all over him, and he works around trucks and cars.
Yeah.
So we're looking at your son's name is Mac. He has tattoos on his arms. He has nosebleeds all the time. Well, not all the time, but he
And
gets them.
allergies.
And he works with trucks and cars.
In a
Right?
factory.
Okay. So I'm connecting to, I feel, your grandfather here. So, and your grandfather was a very gruff man.
Yeah.
So I was worried about your son right now, and he's gotten very isolated and quiet. Doesn't want to talk about what's going on for him.
He doesn't generally. He doesn't talk personal
Okay, maybe that's
stuff.
all we're saying. He's concerned for your son. Why is he saying he's concerned for your son? What? There's nothing wrong with your son. Says get the nosebleeds. We've already done that. Did he just break up with a girl?
Yeah.
That's what it is. Oh, your baby's hurting, and he doesn't want to tell anybody. Okay, so here's the thing. He needs to know that he can talk to you. He's the sweetest guy on the planet. Oh my God,
Yeah.
he's really cute too. So every single girl that's watching this show, if he has a Facebook page, we will, Mac with the tattoos, gorgeous guy, works with trucks. Single. I think what they're concerned about is that he gives so much in the relationship, and she really hurt him. So that, you know, this just wasn't meant to be, and he's going to want to get back together with her. That's what they're worried about. So this is definitely the granddad saying, you know, wait it out, let go. It's okay to hurt. You know, there's someone else coming, because he just cares, just genuinely is a caring, gorgeous guy. So someone else is coming. Getting back together will create a life that is going to be something that's detrimental to both families. So because they will split up again. And it's because they don't match. And he tries to make it work, right? Yeah, so you can tell him this, and but don't tell him it's going to be on TV. As a matter of fact, just don't ever tell him this is on TV. Ever! Okay. He will be so embarrassed. But
he will.
she's a really good girl. It's just it's not meant to work for the two of them. It's not that anything wrong with her. It's that the two of them are not meant to be together. He's going to try to force it, and it will end. And you do not need this boy to have a starter marriage.
No.
Okay? Because there's only one for him, because he'll stick it out forever and be unhappy.
I think so. I think I see that. Yeah.
I hope this helped you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Okay.
He'd had a pretty big heartbreak, not too long ago. You know, high school sweetheart, and they were together a long time, and not easy for both of them, I'm sure. And Mac's a very sensitive young man, doesn't really like to open up or talk about it. She picked that up, and how much he was hurting, and how handsome he was, and what a good fella he was. And she just suggested that he move on and he'll have a better relationship, and it's probably best not to go back to that relationship. I felt little messages all the way along, and that kind of made me feel like there was something coming to me, you know, something that I needed to know, and it was neat that the way that it came out. She's so accurate. She's so cool.
I communicate with loved ones who have passed in order to bring through their messages, because until we're willing to face our old stories, they'll continue to have power over us. Our loved ones want to make sure that we live our lives to the fullest. So until next time, I'm Colette Baron-Reid with Messages from Spirit.
There was a lady who had her mother and her godmother come through and just tell her to let go of bitterness and pain and to remember the love that they gave her instead of the kind of abandonment she had had from other relationships in her life, and I thought that was really moving.
I totally believe that we're all energy, right? So the energy goes somewhere else when we're not on this realm, so I 100% am a believer that things happen, you can hear things, you can communicate with the other side, so fully, like 100% believer.
The energy in the room is incredible. The people that Colette brings in is overwhelming, definitely touching. Got teary-eyed a few times, so she connects to a lot of people when she says one message.
I think it's incredible. She's got a really great gift, and she's so accurate. And then also the messages that she brings through are so beautiful and on such a spirit, heart level. It's very moving. Anyways, it's just moving being in the audience, whether somebody comes through for me or not. It's just really nice to experience all this.